Okay, welcome everybody to episode 8 of Building FreePort. I should mention that this is the last episode before the special author publisher Ask Me Anything event next Friday. So next Tuesday there will not be a regularly scheduled show. That is going to be bumped to Friday. So look for that, the 26th of May, and it's going to be at special time at 6 p.m. To try and maximize how many people can be there. So today we are trying to fix things, because if you've seen the last episodes, you know that FreePort is a little bit run down. And by run down, I mean nobody wants to live there. The population technically keeps growing, but we have a bit of an issue with everyone moving out. Yep, this is our catastrophic leaving situation, so we can't really keep people in the industrial district. So most of this is zoned for industrial district, it's zoned industrial, just like in the book. And nobody will stay. You'll see there's a lot of empty space there. But we do have a way to fix it, courtesy of our friend Maelstrom. He suggested something that I never actually anticipated putting in and had no idea that it would actually make a difference, and that is our good buddy, public transportation. I should mention that though the book is set in a time period that is... Okay, let me see what... earlier, it's basically equivalent to the early 1900s here in America. There is public transportation within the city. Most of it is taxis. There are some bus equivalents. So I haven't actually played around with public transport. I'm going to see how this actually works. So place bus stops to create a line. Bus stops need to form a circular line. Buses are automatically sent out. So that sounds, I guess, sends out buses from your bus line. So it looks like I need to do the Depo first. So I might as well place one. You know what? I think part of the problem is that there aren't enough roads connecting a lot of the residential areas. See, you have a road here and a road here. I need to go ahead and drag that road across before I build the bus depot, because this is a prime line that goes right between the industrial and the commercial. Wait, actually, that's commercial. That was the problem. I meant to zone that in residential, so that is, yeah, commercial. Okay, let me go ahead really quick and get rid of some of this and rezone that high density residential. The idea is that the workers here have too far to drive, and I think that might be part of the problem, especially without public transport. But if we put some high density housing there, that might help make it easier for workers to stay. See, there are no workers available for most of these buildings, and that's really been the problem why a lot of these are being abandoned. Is there are, hoping I'm not going to delete roads, is a lot of these places are abandoned because there isn't anybody to work at them, because there isn't anywhere for them to live. They don't really want to have to drive halfway across the city, though a 2-mile commute is nothing to whine about, and they are actually whiners. But let's just ignore that, that they're whiners. Hey Naga, what's going on? Welcome to Demolishing FreePort, the show where I just destroy buildings all the time because nobody likes to live here. How are you today? Anything, let's see, anything new? While I demolish what I have built and what nobody seems to like. So I'm going to ask you, because I've never quite decided, when you play this game, or when anyone plays the game, are you the mayor or are you like a deity? I'm not sure if we're like the mayor who, you know, determines policies and stuff, or are we more like playing black and white where we're the gods controlling something? I'm never quite sure. Either way, nobody likes me, but I'm not sure. What do you think we are? Like super mayors, or more like black and white style where we're the gods of the city? Oh man, look at that poo-water. Major problems. Okay, so I was going to finish that road, wasn't I? Well, you're the mayor. So are you technically the mayor in the game? Is that like actually what your title is? Because I didn't actually look at that. I'm curious. Of course, the road is going to destroy the one building here, right? I think I'll just curve it a little bit. That's totally my luck. The one straight road would destroy that building, so why don't we have it curved just a little bit? That's awful. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and say I'm the really, really terrible mayor, but today we are going to try and fix the problem the same way that Maelstrom suggested last week. Were you here when he suggested adding a bunch of public transport, you know, buses and whatnot? I never thought to do that because apparently I didn't think my people needed to get around anywhere. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and add some buses and see how those work to hopefully fill our everyone hates living and working here problem. But I don't know how to do those, so I think the best thing to do is just plop a bus depot. So it says it needs to do a circuit, so I'm going to kind of do a lap around the heart of the city here. Oh, hey, Pika. People just need to not be lazy and take the load less traveled. I've noticed that they are incredibly lazy because they don't want to drive. Okay, so I should mention that I tried to build this to scale for my book. So the city itself, going off of the calculations, let me see if I can get a big view. This is actually mostly to scale, so it's a 4 square mile. Sure, you work based on money. Okay, well, I guess I'm just a really terrible mayor. But anyway, this is actually 4 square miles built as closely as I can to the game's scale. So if they only have to drive 2 miles to work and they're complaining about that, bunch of lazy bums. That and they're too lazy to even bury their own dead in the backyard because we seem to have a lot of corpse problems. Corpse problems are running rampant through the city, and I don't know how to fix the old corpse problem. So just like burying little Barky the dog in your backyard, I don't know why they don't just bury their relatives in there, but that's for another day. Right now we need to fix the public transport problem, so let's go ahead and put our first depot. Yes, very first one. I have no public transport in this. And I think this is honestly going to be a good spot here because A, there are power lines and I don't have to rebuild them. And B, like I said, I can make a big loop of this. So, Naga, I don't remember, did you have to leave? Okay, so do you draw a line with this? Oh, create new line, cool. Oh, cool. That's actually really fun. I like that. It sort of draws it for you. That's neat. Naga, did you have to leave before the end of the stream yesterday for Kerbal? I'm just curious if you caught the end of it. Oh, I don't remember exactly when you had to leave. Why is it looping weird like that? Maybe have some ceremony where you send all the elderly on a journey away from their city. Yeah, we can pay for elderly vacations. It's like sending your favorite pet to the glue factory, you know? Grandma and Grandpa can go visit the glue factory in the next town. And that would probably fix our dying problem. Yeah, the reason I asked Naga is because I was just seeing if you were around. I guess we can have a circuitous route. Why not, right? To see what we're doing for our next mission. So I wanted to say that if you didn't hear about it, we're going... White Guardian suggested we go to, I think it was Faulkner or whatever the name is. It's one of the nearer planets. It's the Big Blueberry is where we're headed next. So I wonder how long I can make this. I think I might as well bring it all the way down to the village. So, Pika, you haven't actually seen this before. Once I finish this random bus line, I'll sort of show you what I'm doing here. I think that looks pretty good. But, oh, Naga, you're going to love this. I have some really awesome news that is going to make you probably have a trouser accident because it's so exciting, and you're going to, you're probably going to die a little bit, so see if you can guess what my news is. And it's specific to you, I should mention. Okay, everyone can appreciate it, but it's specific to you, so see if you can guess. So there's our first bus line. I think, let's see. Raising, lowering the... Okay, so if can I add another station on the line here somewhere? That would probably make this a little bit... Like, can I stick one here, I'm wondering? You nailed it, Waluigi skin. So I got a message from White Guardian on the Kerbal forum, and it said, hold tight, I'm finding a Waluigi skin. So I think we might actually get what we were looking for, my friend. We might actually get the fabled Waluigi skin for a Kerbal. So Waluigi Kerman, it's actually going to be Waluigi Kerman. So keep your fingers crossed. Yeah, so hurry and send your Waluigi links really quick. We need that. That's very appropriate right now. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool to have a Waluigi Kerman? Like an actual Waluigi Kerman? So does that... do either of you guys know if that actually is considered part of that line there, or do I need to like create one from there? So do I need to add extra bus depots, or is that just pretty much pointless? I'm not sure how these work. Like I said, I'm still learning this as I go, so I really don't know if I need to create a new line off there or if it's part of that. Here we go. What's the link? Ah, is it the Waluigi one? Here, look, let's see, so you guys can hear it. Yeah, Pika, you need to take a look at that link. I warn you, though, your mind will never work the same after you've looked at it. My headphones aren't working right again. Hold on a sec. Yeah, so, hey, Pika, if you want to have your mind blown, go ahead and follow that link that Naga's sending. What is this?
Well, technically, have you ever caught a good guy like a real superhero? Nah. Have you ever tried a disguise?
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, you could see how that would never get old, right? It's pretty much every stream we have to play that. But yeah, if either of you guys know how the bus stations work in regard to the lines, go ahead and let me know. That would really help. Naga is good for every single Waluigi meme or link ever, so that's what we pay him for, by the way. Naga's officially on the Disparia Books payroll as the Waluigi enthusiast. Proven fact, by the way. Proven fact. We need more Waluigi enthusiasts. But yeah, the skin might end up working, so we're really hopeful about that. Yeah, are you sure you're not secretly with Nintendo? If only it were only Waluigi. Wait, what's happening to my line here? Can it not? Oh, that's one way, isn't it? Wait, no, why can't I? I should be able to do that. Oh, here we go, okay. Okay, I gotta see what this link is, too. Okay.
Use that pole to go up. It's really steep here. Ball.
Hopefully the volume isn't too light or too loud for you.
The junk pile. Show you my best kick. Sonic, take care of this. Wow! Stomach. That was pretty tough.
Knuckles took a bite out of Sonic.
Go to the beginning.
Didn't have any haters, and now I'm sad.
Sure.
What's up?
Okay, I'm okay with this as long as this video's fate doesn't end up on Pornhub or a cringe compilation.
Doesn't matter.
Well, anyways,
You know what I need to do? Could you imagine if the protagonist in the Super Mario Brothers series was actually Waluigi? So hey, Pika, do you ever watch the game theory videos? By chance? I'm curious, do you ever... I forget, it's Matt Pat, right, who does the game theory stuff. Do you ever watch any of those? I've seen a few of them. You need to write something so ridiculous that it's plausible that the hero of the Mario universe is actually Waluigi. Because I really like all the Luigi ones about how Mario's just a complete troll, but you should actually create one. You and Naga should get together and create one that's so implausible that it actually is plausible. That Luigi is actually the secret hero of the Mario universe. And yeah, I'm just creating a super random bus line, but I'm trying to get it to hit all of the major parts oh yeah, definitely played Mario Maker. I actually have quite a few levels. I haven't made any for a long time, but you can actually find my levels to upload. If you're super curious, I could try and find some of the level codes for you. But yes, I have. I have a PT... sure, go ahead, yeah. So meanwhile, we are creating... But yeah, I have played Mario Maker, and I do have several levels out. Speaking of volume, that Linky Mario that you can get from the Weird Mushroom... Yeah, I know. I'm wondering if that's not where they actually got the inspiration for it. That creepy Mario. So Luigi... Yeah, so that's Mario's alter ego. It's... Wait, I thought there was already an alter ego episode of Game Theory. If somebody who watches this that isn't us and actually knows the Game Theory videos, which one was an alter ego? No, it was the Luigi. Okay, no, wait, no. Yeah. Okay, so one of the Game Theory videos was that Luigi's alter ego in one of the Paper Marios, it was the Wii version, where he's like the bad Luigi. That's actually the true Luigi. So there are, theories about hidden identities, and it wouldn't be too far-fetched that Waluigi is actually Mario. Naga, let me go ahead and click that link now really quick. Whoa, super loud. Okay, I don't know where you guys get all of these amazing links, these videos. What I was going to say is for my next stream, okay, not the next one because that's my special Skype one, is I need to get a little window on OBS here so that I can show you guys like my web browser so that when I'm showing links like that, you guys can actually see it without having to click away. I'm going to do that next time. I'm going to put sort of where this box is, I think. Just put like a second box with my browser so we can watch stupid videos while I make things. That's actually a good idea that you never actually recommended, Naga. So I'm gonna count that one or chalk that one up to your suggestion. I think this should have been on the other side. No, we can connect it there. But yeah, I think that would actually be a lot of fun that I could post the video or watch the videos in the stream. That you suggest, because most of them are absolutely absurd, and that's what I love. Any Waluigi themed videos, I think those need to be an actual part of the stream now. So this is trying to follow the ring road. That's kind of the idea here. See, it makes some of the people happy. I think Maelstrom was right on with his suggestion about doing this. Condiment theme for today? No, okay, so, yeah, Pika, since this is your first time watching, I should explain. So I just sort of stream random stuff. Most of it is Kerbal, but once a week on Tuesdays, this is the series where I'm actually trying to recreate cities from my book in this game as closely as possible. There are fewer people keeping their dead in their closet in my book than there are in this, just so you know, in case you read it. So I kind of do this a little more official, even though it's super goofy. And when I say official, I mean I don't have condiment sponsors with this. It's more not legitimate. It's just okay. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Yes, I understand the irony of being a writer and not knowing the word, but it's a little more. It's not as Kerbal goofballery. It's a little more. I'm actually trying to do that. So there will be a future. Yeah. There will be a future condiment theme for the next Kerbal stream, but this one is a little bit more, I guess, legitimate legit in a non-stuffy, I should be wearing a suit and tie way. It's just, I want to actually see if I can do this. And, spoiler, I'm really terrible at this game, by the way. How loud is that music? Because it's super loud in my headphones right now. Let me know if the game audio is way too high really quick. Because I don't want it to be too loud. There was a bit where it was really loud there. So if you guys don't mind giving me like an audio check, I would appreciate it. I think we can do one more of these. Found something for me. Uh-oh. Whenever Naga says he finds something, it usually turns out poorly. And by poorly, I mean more Luigi drinking salt poorly. And I just felt something in my hair, and if it's a fly or a spider, that's probably not going to be good. Could be toned down. Okay. Yeah, it's really hard to tell. Let me turn it down just a bit. I feel like I have to shout over it. I'm going to go like half. I mean, turn it down half from what it was. Do you think that'll be okay? I mean, if it's not, go ahead and let me know. Okay, let's see what Naga sent us. Fry sauce dubs. Did you make this? Oh, 2011. What is this? The fry sauce dubstep. Okay. Somebody just created the fry sauce dubstep. And actually... Oh, you know what? You know how we occasionally have Kerbal dance parties, by the way? I looked it up on YouTube. Well, go whoever made the the fry sauce dubstep. But that would actually be super appropriate for our Kerbal dance party. Yeah, YouTube has everything. It's kind of scary. You know how sometimes we do Kerbal dance parties? That dubstep, because it's both fry sauce and dubsteppy, would be perfect for our Kerbal dance parties. Let's see. I'm going to see how this goes. I don't need... So what is the metro? Is that sort of like an underground? Yeah, there are no trains yet. No spoilers, but there are no trains in the book yet. So I'm going to add another bus line just to see if this doesn't really help everything. But yeah, Pika, let me just kind of give you an overview of what we're doing here. So like I said, I'm trying to recreate the city in my first book, the main city where it takes place. And like I said, I'm quite rubbish at this, but it's actually coming along nicely. So this is the neighborhood where the main character lives. And that would technically be his house right there. He lives on the very southwest corner. So this is his little quiet neighborhood. This is, if you read it, this is the sort of forested woodlands behind his house. Some more of the residential districts here. Here's one of the large residential areas with a cool layout. It's got a sort of a circular outer ring with a grid in the center. The Parks District here, this is where a lot of the books takes place. This road here sort of divides the whole Parks District, which is further subdivided into 3 areas. You've got the forest area. You've got the, eventually, I'm going to put the rest of this. This is sort of like the garden area, and then here's, this is where all the sports equipment is, where you get your track and field and your arenas and stuff. So there's the Parks District, which features heavily in the book. This is Jonas's bar, which is another one of the key parts of the book. Oh, Naga, already, so soon, gotta go. You sprinkle us with some Waluigi and then you gotta go. Well, no worries, it was good having you even for just a minute. So, let the visions of Waluigi keep you until our next Kerbal stream. So yeah, have a good one. Wait, before you go, hold on. You can't go yet. Okay, now you can go. He's done his good deed. Yes, he's Waluigi'd us for the day. In this area up here is the sort of, I guess, more affluent, where the more expensive homes are. They're on little cul-de-sacs. So that's kind of the layout. Here's the FreePort River that feeds most of the city. And you will notice that there is a poo-water problem because I think I know what the issue is. And I don't know how well you know cities, Pika, but I think I made a major mistake with this. And I will go ahead and tell you what I think my problem was after a quick sip. Okay, so I custom made this map. It might not look like much, but I actually did the terraforming of it. That's how I got the little bit of the hills and the layout. I wanted to get it as close as possible, so I actually went and terraformed the whole thing, right? Which included digging out the lake and the river. The river comes from the north and runs along the highway here, and it feeds the city as well as a little some of the agricultural areas out here, right? So I mean that's normal. I don't know how well do you know this game. Like as I'm describing this, do you understand? You know, I mean, do you know enough to know what I'm talking about here? But anyway, when I was building it in the river, I can't go up higher, but I put a water source up here, and I put a water source over here, right? Well, it wasn't flowing very fast. I'm getting the gist of it. Okay, well, so you can set the water sources, like as you're building the map, to be a constant supply of water. So the idea is that the water would flow and feed out into the ocean here, right? Well, it wasn't flowing very fast, so I decided to put another water source. I think... Okay, I can go to the water and actually look at the flow. Where is the flow? One of these has the flow. Oh man, where do I get the water flow? Just a sec. I'm trying to see. I'm still learning this game as I go. Yeah, okay, so here's the problem, is you'll see the arrows right here show the water flow, which means water obviously goes from one direction to the other. Makes sense, water flow, all that. And it would feed out into the ocean, which is just fine. Well, I had to put another water source, I think, here, so that it would feed this aqueduct, and it would actually continue to flow. Well, instead of flowing like it was supposed to, the flow from here and the flow from here basically merged, and the water just went stale. So instead of having flowing water, I now have poo water. It's just sitting there getting stagnant because I was an idiot and put the water sources so that they fought each other as opposed to work with each other. So now we have a poo water problem over by the park, and it's slowly taking over the whole city, and I don't know how to fix that. So yeah, the brown obviously is our pollution level. Yeah, so we have some delicious poo water slowly engulfing the city, and I have a feeling eventually it's going to hit the lake and make a big nasty poo lake. So in the meantime, I'm hoping that my public transport will fix things and we can just ignore that. I should mention that you're seeing some pollution there. That's because in the book it's sort of a very industrialized shipping center up in the northern part, and that's where you get a lot of you get all these shipping centers here. So I think that pollution is sort of natural for the industrial environment, which is totally fine. I get that and accept that. I mean, if you go to any major port, industrial port, you're going to get pollution and the water's dirty. So I get that. It's just the drinking water. Okay, yeah, see, there's the water source. Oh wait, can I actually? Oh, I can actually mess with that. Oh crud, I didn't know I could do that. I wonder if I can move that. Well, look at that. Apparently I was able to delete it. Let me put one here. Yeah, no worries. I'm going to be playing with water levels because apparently I can. Oh wow, I had no idea. Yeah, I'm going to be messing with this water level to see if I can't fix this problem. So let's see. I'm going to actually quick save before I go ahead and mess with that. Let's see. I'm going to save over that, not the backup file. Let's press play and see what happens with the water. Is it going to flow? Because ideally I would like some to flow into the river. Okay, so how is the transport doing? Oh, that needs some power. Let's see what's out of power here. I think we should be pretty good on power everywhere. Oh, that needs some too. Yeah, these. Okay, let's. Oh. Okay, output. Let's go to 23. I'm just making some adjustments in OBS really quick. Okay, hopefully, yeah, hopefully that fixes our little issues. It said an encoding issue, but hopefully that solves itself. I don't see why we would have one, but I guess. Oh well, we'll see if that fixes it. Meanwhile, back to power lines. And as I've mentioned before, I'm going to delete, once I have a full power grid, I'm going to delete the power lines because there aren't a lot of major exposed power lines in the book itself. So I want to get rid of those as much as I can. I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, actually, I think it's a good time to check our stats. We finished last time doing that. Landfill usage. Oh, we need some more incinerators, it looks like. So let's go ahead and add some... I think I'm going to add one up there that will sort of work with... Okay, incineration plant, landfill site. I think a good landfill site would be up here against the wall. I can always move these later, and I'm going to put the incineration plant right next to it. So this, again, is the sort of university complex, the housing complex. I wonder if we need one down here, next to the main road. I think... What's that zone for? I suppose I should see what it's zoned for. I haven't even zoned that yet. Okay. I guess that gives me a little freedom. Maybe I should do another dump by the river. That way nobody can live by it. I think that's probably the most out-of-the-way spot I can get. Right there by the river. And I don't think it'll feed into the river, so we should be okay there. But it does need power. Luckily we have some right here that we can run over. Oh, and it needs water, I guess. Yeah, actually, this whole area needs some water. Congratulations. Let's see. Most Attractive City Award. I will take that, even though we had a poo-water problem and people are storing their dead bodies in their closets. I will definitely take the Most Attractive City Award. I don't think anything can be built there, but that's okay. Cover it right there. I wonder if I can just bridge this gap, if that'll cause any problems. Looks like everything is flowing nicely. So our availability and sewage treatment are decent. I wonder if I've been putting so many of those in. Oh, hey, this needs some water. I didn't even see that. Oh, and it needs power because, I guess, why not, right? Oh, God, I think everyone's sick because of the drinking water problem. Man, I don't know why everyone is big throwing up sick people. Let's see. So where's their outgoing water? Okay, this is a water pumping station, and that is a water drain pipe. Yeah, you probably don't... I should probably change the flow of those, right? So that's... Yeah, let me delete these really quick and switch them. So that's the pumping, and that's the outflow. So we want... So pumping is there. I don't want to turn that into poo water. Yeah, that's going to be flowing nicely and fix that problem, so I can go ahead and put the pumping stations right here again. Eventually, yeah, don't mind the stinky poo water right now. Okay, let's give those some power. I think that one should have power once I start it. So now we need more outflow. That's, I think, the major problem is that there's not enough outflow for the water. You can build a water treatment plant to reduce the... Purifies 85% of the pollution in sewage. That would actually be good to place over here because this is where the dump is. That's actually probably a good place to put some of these outflow areas. So if I take some of... We have a line coming from here, all of these. Let me run one up. And I'm going to connect this straight over to that. Yeah, hopefully we don't get too many more sick people. The problem is they've been drinking bad water. I'm 90% sure that's why we've had so many sick people, is with the water treatment. They've been drinking recycled water, basically. Or, I mean, they've been drinking the outflow water. Yeah, see, all these people have the same problem. Let me extend this line to that as well. And then I will go ahead and put an outflow past our pumps. I think our pumps... Oh, look, the flow of water is actually slowed down since I deleted that. Hopefully it speeds up pretty soon. But those are pumping station. Those are intake, right? Or are those outflow? Oops. That is a water pumping. Okay, so we need our outflow around here. I'm actually going to wait until that fills up a little bit more. Okay, so our water availability, we need... Maybe I'm just pumping too much. That would actually explain it if I was pumping a little bit too much. Okay, I do need some power out here, though. Hey, that'll actually go through the fence, or the wall. That's cool. Okay. Let's see what happens when I press play, if that solves some of the power and water issues. It should... Yeah, it should fix that a little bit. I'll have to monitor the water situation. Sewage treatment is still fairly poor. I wonder if I put another one of these here, if that'll help. I don't really know how well these work, which is why I'm just sort of guessing right now. But I would imagine as long as there are plenty of pipes... That's not actually connected, is it? Okay, so these people have had bad water. So let's connect one... down here. Yeah, I would like to try and get this into some sort of order before next week's show. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Okay, let's take a look at our water. Okay, our flow. Yeah, our flow is actually looking a lot better. And that stinky poo water problem is, I think, slowly fixing itself. And the water level over here has actually risen again. So I think we're going to do well. It's like this whole poo water log needs to move down past the treatment plants. But okay, now I think we need to work on electricity. Let's see how we're doing with that. I'm going to go ahead and add another solar plant. Even though they're not that common in the book, they're the most effective way to manage this. Okay, we have some space there. I don't like it too near the Parks District. Actually, there's one in the Parks District already, isn't there? What do we have down here? I think we have, yeah, the sewage treatment. Let's put 2 of those right there. And then we'll connect them to the rest. That boosts our electricity, and that we already have an incinerator and a dump there, so I don't think putting a power plant there is going to be a huge problem. Yeah, we still... Wait, uh-oh. Building is burned down. That's okay. I guess. Everyone's still abandoning their posts. I think some more public transportation might actually help, so I'm going to go delete some of these. Like usual, because that's pretty much the name of the stream is, hey, let's destroy abandoned building stream. And then we can add some more bus lines and see if that doesn't fix it. How's their water situation doing? So those are intakes. I don't know. Oh, hey, that's not actually going to connect. I want to try and... you know what? Maybe I should do one of the outflows right somewhere along here, since this is already an industrial place as it is. I don't think having one right here is going to cause too many problems. So some of this water needs to come over to that, and I believe it already has power, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay, let's add another bus depot. We have a decent line going, but I think we need to have some in these areas. So let's put one right on this double road here and add another line. I don't know what the most effective way to do these is. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't know, like, what as far as traffic flow, the best and most effective way of using these would be, but I would imagine that if it hits most of these streets, that we'll call that somewhat effective. Yeah, I think that actually looks That's not too bad. Yeah, we want it to come there, and there, and there. Mimic, so it'll go along that bus line a little bit. Then I think we'll have it come over here and scoot along this area to connect most of this. Again, I don't know how long these should be to make them effective. If this is too long, but oh, I should probably go to the up here. Oh, wait, wrong button. I should probably see what sort of policies I have. Wait, that's not... This is what I need down here. Where is it? Okay. Maybe free public transportation, because I'm not worrying about money. Hopefully that'll help. Taxation. City planning. What allows industry to work more effectively? No, I don't want to overlook safety laws. There are already dead bodies piling up. So let's see if that doesn't help it a little bit. And let me go ahead and put one more line, because this is a relatively large city. I think I should have one that goes around the Parks District. Let's see. I never mentioned a depot, but it would actually make sense to have one here near the Parks District. So I'm going to put one there. And I'm going to start the line going all the way around the Parks District. This would be actually a really good spot with access to everything right there. We'll come sort of a perimeter road. Hopefully this will encourage people to build on these outer regions as well. Then I think, what's the easiest way to connect back to it? Maybe I'll have some that come all the way around the temple over here, because there are a lot of walking paths there. I think that would be a good idea to place it there. Then we can bring it back down, and I have a feeling that the stop placement itself is going to be just as important as the number of stations. So they have bad water problems too. That's really weird. Okay, create new line. Stop, 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 stop. Yeah, all these people are going to be quite chuffed about all this. I really wonder what sort of impact this is going to have. I hope it's a... I mean, obviously everyone's smiling, but I don't know what this is going to do actually for all the abandoned buildings and those problems that we've been having. Let's see, where did I... Oh, here's the start and stop of it. Okay. It looks like we should have a decent amount here. I believe they all have power. Looks like we have more pollution problems. But I think if we let this run, it's going to fix itself slowly. Yeah, see? Yeah, okay, there we go. Good, the water problems are fixing themselves. So let's take a look at what we have. Healthcare availability. Okay, so everyone's really unhealthy. Did you fix the water pollution? Actually, yeah, take a look at this. Let me show you what's happening. Let's see, yeah, our turd water problem, it's slowly moving downstream. So if you'll remember, the dirty water is up here, and since I added that new water source, it's shoving everything down here, and eventually it's going to make its way out. It will be passing by some of these intakes, but shh, don't tell anyone that they're going to be drinking poo water for a little bit. Yeah, no more chocolate milk in the drinking fountains. So eventually that's going to be shoved that way, and a lot of the people that have been really unhealthy are actually improving their health. So that's a positive. Now that we had a bunch of sick people down in this neighborhood, but I think it was because of the water problem. So I'm assuming that it's going to fix it. The issue now is that everyone's really unhealthy. We have plenty of cemeteries and not enough hospitals, which I guess you could either have cemeteries or hospitals, right? The issue is I don't know why it says the availability is so low. All these little purple spots show where I have hospitals, which seems to be pretty, a pretty good distribution, but you still get pockets of sick people, and I guess the game... Oh yeah, so go ahead and criticize the old public transport initiative. No, I think the residual is because of the water issue, I'm hoping. And this game, okay, I think this game needs you to have a higher density of hospitals and medical clinics than should, I guess, seem realistic, because all these little purple spots are where I place them. And honestly, to me, it seems like I have way more than I need. But obviously, when you see the red there, all this red means that they're... Oh wait, actually that just means they're sick, so it is available. All these green areas mean it's available. And you see how these areas are gray here? That means they have no access to it. But I don't know why they're so sick. Like, see, there's this pocket right here. I wonder if it's a garbage issue. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, I don't think these people have access to a city dump. You see how it's all gray? Smallpox. Yeah, I think they've caught the plague. That's been going around for a while. The plague has come back. Most people don't realize that, but the plague has actually come back. But yeah, so take a look at this. You see when I place that there, it covers all of this for trash. I think that's the problem, is that there just wasn't enough trash. That's almost going to cover everything. I want to try and cover the whole city. But obviously you then have to balance people not wanting to live with a big dump in their backyard. But if they've been living with dead bodies, what's a dump, right? So I'm going to place that here. Yeah, that's going to probably piss off a few people. But they can live with it, and the incineration plant will go there. So yeah, this area is going to be a little polluted, but now this whole area here is going to be able to throw their trash away as opposed to burying it in their neighbor's backyard. Most of them have actually been burying their garbage in their neighbor's backyard, so I think that will probably help the whole healthcare situation. We've got a couple of... Oh, hey, look. Yeah, see, their health improved. The little sick symbol went away. We'll call it a victory. More abandoned buildings, though. So what I was doing is taking a look over here at the stats of my city. The healthcare is still really low, so I guess we need to give the whiners some more hospitals and whatnot. I should mention, when I was writing the book, I never had to account for placing about 300 million hospitals in it. I really, I never sat down and said, okay, well, there should probably be one hospital per every 10,000 people. I never thought about that. So when it came to actually building the city, I'm kind of at a loss for where to put so many hospitals. I figured, a couple big hospitals would take care of the population. But evidently you need a whole lot more than I anticipated, which is why this is so hard. I don't know where to put them. You know what I mean? It's like, I know how the city's laid out, but I don't know where all these hospitals and medical centers should go. So I'm trying to put them in, like, the best places I can imagine. But take a look at this. You see the green? That shows where that's going to cover. That seems like it's a really, really, really small area for the healthcare to cover. I mean, does that seem a little weird to you? That it only covers what, like a couple blocks? See, that's a house, right? That it only provides access to just that small little area, which means you have to lay these things everywhere. Otherwise, you put a big hotel. A hospital, but that just looks like, I think that looks like trash, having it in a neighborhood like that. But that's probably the only way to keep everyone from being really unhealthy. So yeah, I'm not... Is it like a Instacare or a full-fledged hospital? So that one is more like an Instacare, doctor's office. That one is the hospital. So that little one I was showing you, see, that's just the Instacare that provides... I mean, that's like one little bend. It doesn't even go to the full roundabout there. See, this roundabout here, if I move it up there, it doesn't even get it. But then if you want to go and throw the hospital, which, yeah, great, that covers all of it. But look how ugly that is. It's just this giant high-rise building in what's supposed to be a nice, beautiful residential area. So I'm not really sure how to fix that as far as making it work within book standards, if that makes sense. I'm kind of at a loss for how to bridge that little gap, that problem. I guess what I could just do is say, hey, this is a game. I can take some liberties. It's not going to be exact for the book, because obviously your citizens seem like they are very... I know, it's a bunch of whiners. First they want me to bury their dead, then they need a bus, then they want to stop drinking chocolate poo water. Man, being a mayor is rough. It's, a bunch of whiners. I must have the high maintenance citizens mod going. But anyway, what I think is I'm just going to have to take some liberties and say this is a game. It's not... I have to understand that I can't have it exact to the book because the game has its own sort of rules and just sort of deal like that. But yeah, there are a bunch of high maintenance whiners who need a hospital. I guess what it is that they're all really, really chubby. And when they go for a walk, they need a hospital every block because they usually pass out. They're, morbidly, grotesquely obese with every health issue. And if they walk down the sidewalk, they need, every quarter mile a hospital to stop in. Note to self, maybe I should reduce the number of ice cream trucks in the city. Maybe that's the problem. But yeah, they're definitely high maintenance whiners. So we got plenty of electricity. At least we don't have problems with that. So all these blue areas, that's where there are power in their actually buildings. So anywhere you don't see blue, there is no power. But the problem is that you don't want to do power lines everywhere because you don't just want to make a grid everywhere. You want to sort of wait for things to build up and then connect power to it. Yep, more dead people. Okay, we were checking to see... Healthcare has actually gone up. Okay, that fixed that nicely. I should probably put one more hospital somewhere over here for these whiners. That's a fairly major road. I think that would actually work well there. And then a clinic. Underground power lines. No, but actually I was talking about that while you're gone. Let me place this and then I will explain what I'm going to do. It's kind of cool. I really like this idea. But let me add the whiners, give them another doctor's office. Since you can't have too many. This is a much, much better option for a doctor's office. Let me show you. So this fits with sort of the theme that I would imagine the city looks like in my book a lot more. It's a little bit more brick and mortar, I really like the way that looks. That's actually is the police station right there. So you see how nice those look with the sort of like the cottagey brick look. I really like that right there. Really, really, I think that looks nice as far as keeping the theme. But obviously those massive hospitals, see, those don't work with it at all. Yeah, because the book is sort of set in the equivalent of like the 1900s where in the city a lot of things are sort of brick and stone. The mod that I used over here, everything looks a little bit more true. I like the way this looks a lot better. Let me actually see if I can find my favorite style of house really quick in here. I know it's in here somewhere. You see it's like a mix of the mod and the stock houses. I'll have to wait and find one somewhere. But if you ever play the game, it's the medieval village theme. That's what I'm using for this. Anyway, okay, so the power lines. Let me go back to the power grid. So let's say I want to place a building. Actually, let's go ahead and do that so I can explain it to you visually. Let me see what I need to place, and then I will know. Let me see how my education's doing really quick. So we need more elementary schools. So I will place an elementary school and explain the underground power lines to you. Let's see, I think the book... I'll place one of these cool little elementary village... or medieval village elementary schools. Tongue twister. Let's see. I want to try and get a nice central location. And I'm going to place... I like to place the high schools right next to it because I like the idea of like the high schools and the elementaries being built together. So I place one there, right? Notice how I did not have any power lines where those two were. what happens is when... Okay, this needs power. So you run a power line to something, right? The blue area around the power lines, that is where they supply power. And the blue space, that is sort of like the power zone where you need power to connect to that. Now that this building has power, and let's say that people build to cover this gap, and let me know if this doesn't make sense, but you see these blue areas, that sort of shows the power grid. And if this area here gets filled in with buildings, I could then go and delete this power, because in a sense, as buildings are connected, they distribute power between them, and you can go ahead and get rid of the power lines. So I could go ahead and take out these lines right here, and you'll notice that there's still power because the buildings are connected on a grid. So eventually I would like to go and delete all of the power lines because they're ugly, and that's not really how it sort of fits with the book. So eventually I will be able to go and delete most of those power lines. So that's the eventual goal, but I can't do that yet until the city's more built up, because as you can see, the whiners keep moving out, and I have to keep destroying these houses, and that affects the power distribution. So you see when I delete some of these, it changes how the power is laid out. And if I delete too many and I delete the power lines at the same time, I'm just going to have to go back and place some more, which I don't really want to have to do because placing power lines is really annoying. But yeah, eventually I will be ditching the power lines because it looks so much better when there's a full power grid and you don't have to have any of the electric wires coming off of them. The only ones that I won't delete are the ones that come off of like the turbines here, you know, that actually are the generators. So I won't be deleting those. Building is burned down. Good. Go ahead, burn down and evacuate. Whoop. I just deleted the road. Yeah, gonna fix that road really quick. That was a... Is that a one-way? No, that's a single lane two-way. Sorry, didn't mean to blow up your road there, people. Well, so far, everyone is still leaving, even though I gave them public transportation. Yeah, we're still not making everyone happy. I don't know. I mean, this is like literally half of the city is burned down. Or, I mean, abandoned. Yeah, that's not quite how it is in the book either. I don't remember writing that everyone just up and leaves. What I don't get is that new buildings are going up as I'm deleting these old ones. It's so weird. But I don't know. Yeah, so Maelstrom, he was on the stream last time. He suggested that public transportation would really fix the abandoned building issue, that adding a zone for people to live in right here, and then adding public transportation would fix it, but hasn't really fixed it. Let me see if anyone's actually using it. Maybe I just need a whole bunch more, because you'll see that 670 citizens are using it per week, which is good, but the population is just about to hit 40,000, which 600 to 40,000, a little bit off. So let me delete some more of these, and then I'm going to see if we can't work. Okay, what's going on here? I can't delete. What do you think the cost? So apparently it's that there aren't enough workers, and I guess the businesses, they go out of business or something. I don't know, because my population in the city is 40,000, but it says, oh, let me get rid of this. It says that there aren't enough workers. You see that little, the little heads up right there? Not enough workers, so it only has 1 out of the maximum 4 workers. One of them's highly educated. One overeducated worker and 3 jobs available. So yeah, there's like an education and worker issue. So what Maelstrom suggested I do is create a zone here. So this green means high density residential zone. So create a zone right next to the industrial zone where people could live and just go right to work. So the idea would be that this fills up with houses and they commute over here to work. And then by adding the bus lines that I did, the people who live down here would be able to get jobs and travel up here. So that, I think, is what the issue is. So it's basically the route of it is there are not enough workers. The cause of there not being enough workers is what I've been trying to figure out. I'm not sure. Like I said, I think it's the housing combined with the lack of transportation. That's my best guess. Honestly, I don't know. I watched some tutorials on how to play this, but this is only the 8th time that I've actually been streaming the episodes of this game, so I'm still sort of learning it as I go, which that's part of the fun. I mean, trying to figure these problems out as I go. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like doing things like this. I have no idea. I'm trying to tackle it sort of one day at a time, and obviously it doesn't look like the public transportation has had a huge impact, because I mean, it looks like I'm playing like some sort of puzzle game here where I'm just clicking as fast. I'm playing Minesweeper. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing Destroy the Building Minesweeper, because these things seem to be popping up as fast as I get rid of them. So what are some of these people saying? Notice that there's abandoned buildings. Abandoned buildings lower the value of the land around them, but they can be rebuilt later if there's demand. There is a way to check the demand for... Oh yeah, down here. See this? This shows you the demand for certain zones. I think that... Okay, I'm going to back up here and explain... I'm going to basically explain and try and pretend that I'm not actually a moron at this game, even though I am. I set out to create the city in my book, right? Which is a huge city, and I knew nothing about this game. Well, I created the whole map at once. I went into the editor and built the entire thing and was like, yeah, awesome! I'm going to do this. Everyone's going to be happy, and by everyone I meant the citizens. And hopefully people watching, but I jumped right in and created the whole thing. Well, generally when you play this game, because I played it a little bit before I started this series, generally when you play this game, you start with a small area, you start with a highway that comes like this and maybe, goes off to the side, and you start with a small area and you build just like a little community around that. And as that expands, you add a little bit more. And then as that expands, you add a little bit more. And then once you have this whole region expanded, then maybe you start worrying about an area over here. And then once that happens, you build an area over here. And then by then you'll have this, little sort of loop-shaped area here. And then you can start building up the actual houses and buildings inside of it. Because buildings have levels in this, and as they upgrade, they get bigger, hold more, have better people, whatnot. But I was brilliant and just sort of jumped in and said, hey, let's just cover the whole thing in areas and see what happens. So realistically, I think I built too big of a city too quickly before it actually had a time to build up. I think that's really, really the problem, is that I just covered too much space with roads and areas that it wasn't able to build up like it normally does in the game. Does that make sense at all? Like, I think I just went too big too soon. And now I'm paying for that by having everyone move out and bury their dead bodies in the backyard. Actually, that's not the way I wanted. Oh, well. So, yeah, I just think I covered too many square miles too quickly, and that just made everyone real upset. That's my best guess. And obviously, you can fix it and let it build up. If you'll notice my population down here, at the beginning of last stream, I want to say it was under 30,000. So it is increasing, which is really cool. Eventually, I want to see it, turn into like some massive city like it is in the book. But it's slow going, and I have to keep deleting all of these abandoned buildings in the process. But I really think that I just grew too fast too soon. It wasn't meant to handle that. But if I put enough of these bus stops here, it should make it easier for people to get around and make them more likely or less likely to bury their neighbors or bury their relatives in the backyard and get sick by drinking toilet water. Speaking of toilet water, let's take a look at that. Yeah, look, see, the whole line of toilet water moved out. Oh, okay, one thing, I love Kerbal and I love its effects and stuff, but this game has really cool sort of water effects. I know that makes me sound like the world's biggest nerd to say that this is cool water effects, but it actually has cool water effects. You can see now that there's a new flow. The fresh water is starting to push out from some of this dirty water from the industrial zone. I just love the way that it actually does it. It's really, really cool. We'll say hydrodynamics. Word of the day. Yeah, there's not too much flow up there. But yeah, our water flow is looking good. It pushed that little bit of dirty water into the lake. Don't tell the ducks. I remember when Super Mario Sunshine came out. Yeah, oh, so are you a fan of Mario Sunshine? Please tell me you are. So what's this? What are these green arrows? I don't know what that means, actually. But please tell me you're a fan of Not Enough Customers. Oh, thank you. I love... Okay, Mario 64 was like the defining, you know, moment moving to 3D. But honestly, I played Super Mario Sunshine more than I played Super Mario 64. I love that game. I love using Flood. It was just... Yeah, that was a ton of fun. And I agree, the water dynamics on that were... really, really, really nice. That's why I'm actually looking forward to Mario Odyssey, because it's going back to that open world style. I know. I think that there were a very few who really, really wanted a sequel in that style. Yeah, I love that. And I mean, the story was really goofy and kind of creepy, but it was so much fun. I think that it felt like, and tell me if you got the same feeling from this, but sometimes when you play a game, it sort of feels like a carnival in the sense that, you know, you're going into this sort of fantasy land and it's just, you know, constant excitement. The levels in that, in the world itself, everything, I mean, yes, I know there was a carnival level, but everything just felt like a different ride at an amusement park. Everything felt really varied and exciting. And I love some of the weird challenges, like the Haunted Mansion, or the Haunted Mansion on the beach, to the amusement park level. I mean, it was just really varied, and it was really, really good. It was a lot of fun, and using the water pack made playing with Mario a lot more fun. Plus, add Yoshi. Yeah, I know. Actually, that I should go back and I want to go back and play that. I wish they would release it on the Wii U or the Switch eShop. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think they ever have re-released that, have they? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say they have not. I'm going to go ahead and check what we need while... stupid people. Get it? Literally, stupid people. They're actually... Yeah, okay. So I have my Wii still hooked up. I don't know if you can see it back there. Little white guy, you know, might have forgotten it because, you know, Wii was moved along. But I still have my Wii because it plays GameCube games. I try and, like, have my combination of hooked up systems to maximize how easy it is to play old games. So I have my PS3 hooked up, which plays PS1. My Wii plays GameCube games, and then I've got my Switch and my GameCube, or my Wii U hooked up. But yeah, I need to go back and play it, since luckily I have my Wii still hooked up. Switch, they might start to... Yeah, that would be... I don't think they have yet, but I think that they were talking about making the Switch sort of the go-to for... What was I working on? Education. Wait, no. It was elementary that we needed, right? Hold on a sec. Let me figure this out. Yeah, it's the elementaries we need. Yeah, I think that they were talking about doing that. And if they do, I would be really, really excited. Because the GameCube was... it was more amazing than people give it credit for. It had a lot of gems on it. And, you know, Sunshine being probably one of the top of the list for me. Yeah, I guess... See how many... I just don't think that the games... Or that in this game that these... It had... I know, right? Do you remember that... What was it, like the Panasonic version that they had the DVD player in it? That big bulky thing? Yes, but how can you go wrong with a console that has a handle on it? I guess if you play with a Switch with... it kind of has built-in handles since it's portable. But yeah, it had a handle on it. And they had so many fun colors. We didn't get a lot of colors here in America, but we did. You know, we did get a few. But yeah, I was such an idiot. Okay, so I should mention that I like to collect consoles. You know, I collect game consoles as far back as the NES. I don't really want to collect anything that far back. But of all the consoles that I've had, the only one that I sold was my GameCube, and it was not because I was tired of it. It was just, I think I had recently gotten my Wii, and I sold it to one of my friends for, I don't even know why I sold it, but I'm such an idiot. That's one thing that I still need to go back and rebuy is a GameCube, because I was an idiot and sold it to one of my friends. And yeah, I am without a GameCube. Even though the Wii plays GameCube games, I really wish I wouldn't have sold it. You know, it's one of those consoles that I really, really wish I still had. What color did you have? Did you have the purple, the black, or one of the special edition ones? Okay, oh, all these need power. Dang it. Let's go ahead and give them power lines, since apparently they don't want to teach in the dark, especially since the disc reader on my Wii. Oh, I bet you could find a used Wii really cheap, though. How much are they going for these days? Like 60 bucks a used one? We have the black version. I have the purple version. There are a couple used game stores around where I live up here, and they sell pretty much all the old consoles. I don't remember how much the Wii's go for, but I bet you could get one really cheap. It's totally... If you didn't have a GameCube, I would say it would be totally worth it so that you could play GameCube games. But I'm lucky mine still works. Because I've got some fun games that I downloaded on the eShop on my Wii, so I don't really want to get rid of it. Let's see. Best way to spread this out. But yeah, I had the purple one, and of course I don't have it. And I want to go back and pull out some of my old GameCube games now that I have that set up. I never owned the Wave Race on GameCube. I obviously had the N64 version. Luckily, I was able to transfer all of my eShop games from my Wii to my... Yeah, I never actually got around to doing that, and I think I'm a little bit out of luck now, since I think that ship sailed a long time ago. Yeah, I'm still juggling 3 different 3DSs. Because I have... Oh man, I have way too many copies of the DS. Except every time a cool collector's edition comes out, I have to buy one, so it's like... I'm sort of addicted. I know it's a problem. But the Zelda 3DSs... And obviously, since I use them, I don't transfer back and forth. I just haven't gone through the hassle of doing that. So now I've got my games on my 3DS spread between 3 different 3DSs. So now I need to keep all 3 of them out depending on what I want to play. But I do love my 3DS. Oh, more sick people. No wait, those are dead people, aren't they? Maybe we need some crematoriums. Let's see what the status. Cemetery? No, it looks like we're good. I guess we... Okay, so I think that we still need them up... Yeah, I think we need to move them up there. I didn't really plan on having a dead body factory in the middle of the city, but I guess the game wants it. So I was asking Naga, because he's big into the Switch, and he played... he was a PlayStation fan growing up until recently. If you have either the 3DS or the PSV, do you have any recommendations for games on either of those that I might have missed? Because I finished Pokemon Sun not too long ago, so I'm looking for some new games to play. And the PlayStation actually had a flash sale. I think it's still going on, so I was able to get a few indie games. But I'm looking for some a little bit more, some actual games. So if you have any suggestions for either of those, if you play them, let me know, since I'm always looking for some more. Guess we need a cemetery over here. 3DS, most recent game. Yeah, well, I played... Okay, I should mention... I've mentioned it on the stream before, that I was playing Dragon Quest 7, not 8. I played 8 on the PS2 when it came out, so I didn't really want to get back into that. But I was playing Dragon Quest 7. Okay, so I am 68 hours into it, and I'm on Chapter 2. Chapter 2 of 4. So I kind of put that one on hold for a little while. Since 68 hours and I'm still roughly halfway done, I was like, yeah, I gotta move that aside. So I got Pokemon Sun and Dragon Quest at the same time, but I beat Pokemon. Yeah, it's huge. If you're looking for a single game that will take you forever, that's the one. because that's without doing the extra downloadable side quest stuff. It has a lot of stuff like that. So if you need a game that's going to last you the rest of your life, yeah, that's the one to do. So wait, these were... Okay, I know I just looked at this, but what did this mean? Not enough customers, okay. Hey, the population is growing, so whatever I'm doing, it's at least not terrible. What's the trash issue down here? Yes, that's actually, I 100%ed that game twice. I love that one. So what's going on here? Yeah, I'm guessing, I actually, do you have like 30 seconds you can wait while I go show you something? I mean, do you have to go, or do you mind if garbage is piled up? Why is garbage piled up? I don't know how to fix that. Yeah, actually, give me like 30 seconds. Is that okay? Go for it. Okay, yeah, just a sec. Okay, I was going to say, hopefully everyone didn't die in my city while I left, but it looks like I paused it. So, speaking of Link Between Worlds, I can't see if the focus is working very well. So yeah, I've got the Link Between Worlds 3DS with the game, and I actually, I loved it so much that I blew through the game and I 100%ed it. Yeah, I know, I love it. I 100%ed the game, all heart pieces, all upgrades, everything, twice, so... Yeah, you could say that I kind of like the game. What about you? I'm guessing that you're a fan of it. So what's with the trash issue here? Oh, it's just that it's not covered. That. Okay, I guess we need another dump because real dumpy people. Let me go ahead and put that and the incineration plant. That should cover that trash problem, right? I don't know why the garbage is piling up there. Oh, and since I was showing you... Because, yes, I do have a problem. Yeah, so did I. I started playing Zelda. So I played the first two when I was younger, but I didn't really get into it. It was a Link to the Past that really got me into the game. So that's why I... Hold on a sec, let me see what this says. Have you noticed? Okay. So that's why I was so excited about... Link Between Worlds is my favorite game. Yeah, so Link... exactly, so that's exactly what my thoughts... Yes, we're on the same wavelength there, because Link to the Past is one of my all-time favorites. And I know it's a lot to do with nostalgia, but really there's nothing wrong with having your favorite be almost purely off of nostalgia reasons. Because that's one that I grew up... I remember it was... When I was younger, back in the 90s, this was before the N64 came out, every New Year's Eve, my dad and I would get Link to the Past, and we would get the Nintendo Power Player's Guide, the nice official one, and we would start, on New Year's Eve, we would start a new game of Link to the Past, and we would try and beat the whole game by midnight each New Year's Eve. Let me go ahead and rezone that really quick since I'm an idiot. So yeah, that's what really sort of cemented my love for Zelda. Is that was sort of our tradition to play each New Year's Eve Zelda, up until midnight. And we had the nice player's guide and everything with it. So that's where that came from. So when Link Between Worlds came out, I was all over it. But now, obviously, I'm enjoying Breath of the Wild. I remember when I found a Super NES in my grandparents' basement and found two of my favorite games, Super Mario World. Oh, yeah, how sweet would that be? Hopefully they had the TV that you could hook it up on. I remember whenever I would go traveling, I'd always bring my consoles, and I would always worry that it would be impossible to hook stuff up because they wouldn't have like the RF adapters, or their TVs wouldn't have the right connections. Oh, that one's definitely on fire. Target is on fire. Whoop. But yeah, I remember back in the day, right, when you didn't know like if a TV would have the connections for a certain console. It was always a mystery if they'd have the composite video or the cable, and you needed the RF adapter. That just reminds me of worrying about things like that. That's funny. So I'm guessing we need fire departments, right? Oh, actually, we don't. It's well covered. Weird. Low fire hazard, too. Go figure. What about Breath of the Wild? Have you been playing that? I could really sit here all day and just destroy buildings. It's so annoying. It's actually, it looks like it's developing a lot faster than it was before. I think I've had much quicker population growth this time. Avidly. Oh, have you really? Yeah, I was saying last stream that I was dumping a ton of time into that, but I actually, no yelling at me over the interwebs because it's a terrible thing to say, but I actually put Zelda down to play ukulele. But I started playing Zelda again. But yeah, I put Zelda down for a couple weeks to play ukulele. Because that's... I am a sucker for platformers. But I haven't actually checked to see how much time I put into Zelda yet. Where do you go on the Switch? Because I know that they have that feature. It's just a little buried. How do you check how long you've been playing a game? It's not nearly as easy as the 3DS, I know. So, healthcare. We need a little bit more healthcare. Let's see. No, actually, we look pretty good. Okay, what else do we need? Happiness. They look pretty happy. Top left corner, you select your profile. Okay. And does it tell you, do you have to navigate deeper in that? It pulls your stats from there on games. Okay, does it list them sort of like the DS version where you can sort of see... Have they put it in the activity log yet, or is it a little bit more cryptic than that? Let's see. Crime. Crime is low. Trash is decent. Oh, the incineration status is actually getting pretty bad. God, these messy, stinky people. At least the poo-water problem's been solved, right? Yeah, everything's green now. That's nice. I will take it. I solved that crisis. Yay! They're not drinking chocolate water. It's fairly simple and straightforward. Okay, yeah, I'll have to take a look at that later tonight after dinner, which, speaking of which, I need to get working on here shortly. Yeah, I've only got about 10 more minutes before I've got to go start on dinner. In the meantime, let's see what problems these whiners are having. I think we're good on everything. I mean, healthcare is good, right? Landfill usage is getting a little off, but I don't know how to... Okay, collect garbage, build landfill. Should be placed far away. Good connection with... Yeah, okay. So my landfill is good. The education is good. So yeah, I should say that in the book, up in the northeast corner, near sort of the more affluent houses, this is what I consider to be the... Okay, this is like the university area. You've got the universities here. Some of the off-campus stuff. They've got the observatory and the power. You know, the idea here is that these are sort of like the campus and school official, work areas, and then you've got the student housing all around it here. So this is like the campus area of the University of FreePort from the book, which is mentioned. So I should just say that that's where all of that is up there. So that's the university area. And I actually like the way it looks in the... Let me see if I can get a better grid view. I like the way it looks actually in the game. I'm surprised most stuff I don't like. But you've got your high-density housing, your taller school housing, and then you've got the campuses here with some cheaper housing to the exterior. So I actually really like the way that looks. It's kind of cool. And here's the market area where the students would shop. So I think that actually looks pretty good. But anyway, Zelda, you said you purchased, you're the one that said you purchased the DLC for Breath of the Wild, didn't you? Traffic, it's kind of bad. I'm going to go ahead and throw in another bus station just because I think it needs it. Indeed. Okay, yeah, I've got to go ahead and do that. Yeah, you got to get your streaming set up. I want to see you try and do a deathless hard mode run. Like I said, it would be fun, and you totally get where I'm coming from with this, but it would be totally fun to watch and laugh as you kept dying over and over trying to do it. Kind of like watching people play Dark Souls. It would be hilarious to see if you could actually do it, and I would love to watch that, because I know that would be impossible. And impossible, I mean, just really, really difficult, but it would be cool to see you try it. I tried that, let's see, which one did I try that once on? I know that, oh man, which game did I try to do a hard deathless run? I don't remember. I know that recently I tried that and I gave up. Oh, no, I know what it was. I tried to do a... Okay, listen how dumb I am. And this is why I'm laughing and I want to watch you do it. Guess how dumb I am. See if you can figure out my dumb Zelda challenge. Just take a guess to try and see if you can figure out what I did. And I'll let you know after. But yeah, real dumb decision. I'll give you one guess to see if you can, then I'll tell you. I'm still scratching my head why I thought that would be a good idea. I can see myself getting towards the very end and dying. Yeah, like a boulder will fall. You know how the snow, like the rocks will fall sometime when you're near the cliffside? That would be what kills you, is a falling rock. I totally, 100%, that's what would kill you, is a falling rock or a snowball. Yeah, that would be the absolute worst. It's like doing a deathless Dark Souls run and accidentally running off the cliff instead of, you know, being killed by a boss. Complete line. There we go. That looks like a pretty good line. Maybe we need one in here somewhere. I think create new line. Let's just have it zigzag. Did you try to be... Okay, yes, you're on the right track. Are you ready for this combination of stupidity? And feel free to post any sort of emote face about my stupidity. I went, okay, on the 3DS version, right, of Ocarina of Time. So 3DS version, which has the Master Quest. I decided it would be a good idea to do the Master Quest, Deathless, 3 hearts. Yeah, let that sink in for a little while. I wish I could see your reaction through this, because I have a feeling your jaw's dropped or you're sitting there cackling at me for being such a moron. But yeah, that's what I actually tried to do, and I thought that would work. No, I didn't go that far. Because I do have at least a brain cell. But yeah, Master Quest, Deathless, 3 heart. Keep in mind that that means everything kills you instantly, all the time, everywhere, as soon as you start. After resetting so much that I thought I was going to break my 3DS buttons, I gave up. Then I went back and 100%ed Link Between Worlds again, so that's what I did instead. Now I'm wanting to try that. You got me thinking. I wouldn't think about that too hard. It's really, really scary. It's the type of thing that you kind of have to do with a guide, and really almost like speedrunning, where you have to plan out your route exactly. You have to avoid everything and know where you're going to go for everything. That's realistically the only way you're going to be able to do it. Is if, unless you're like a master and you know the game inside and out in every single part of it. But yeah, that was, I've done a run through in Vanilla Ocarina, 3 hearts, no deaths. Well, yeah, you're that close. You know what? You need to get if you don't have a full streaming setup, you need to do that, because I really want to watch people. I like watching people try stuff like that. And if you're streaming stuff like that, I really want to see it. Whoops. Haven't thought to do. Yeah, it's, I'm going to go ahead and save because I tend to break things. More abandoned houses, yay. But notice the population, it's increased, what did we start at today? Was it like 35,000, I think? So, as many buildings as are being abandoned, it's actually... Oh, crud. It's growing steadily, so I'm happy with that. Haven't thought to do it... It's almost doubled. Yeah, I know, so... Oh, I should say that this is the provincial and city capital here. This is like the corporate and provincial offices in the book. So this is where the Count of Freeport would reside and where most of the legal stuff happens. So I thought I'd point that out. That's one of the cool little areas of the book, too. But yeah, it's almost doubled, even with people dying in their own backyards. Let's see, I'm watching the clock here. I've got about 5 more minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and say shameless plug. I do these city streams every Tuesday, but next Tuesday I'm not doing it like normal because that's where the, if you look up there, the banner, that's when I'm having my special event. My publisher is going to be joining me via Twitch. He'll be over in this corner. And I'm going to be continuing to build the city, but it's a special stream where we're going to be talking about writing, editing, publishing, everything in general. So if you want to go ahead and join, that's going to be next Friday. So not this week, but the 26th at 6 p.m. I'm going to be doing the same thing, but he's going to be on there to sort of, we're going to talk about everything from the writing process to, how it was in school for me, to everything else. So if you're interested in joining for that, that would be really cool. There will be more of the same, but he's going to be there to answer questions as well. So it should be a fun couple of hours. I'm planning on doing it from 6 to 8. But obviously, nothing's off limits for chatting. That doesn't mean it's just going to be sort of like a lesson. It's just going to be talking about whatever. But, people can come and ask questions. So it's going to be sort of a special time and special date. But I will be doing Kerbal before then. I think... Yeah. There's more information on my website if you're interested, but yeah, it'll be really cool. And it's, I don't know what exactly your plans are or, how old you are or anything like that, but it's appropriate for all ages, whether, you're in high school or you've had a career for 20, 30 years. It's something that, anyone can get behind because a lot of authors, start really, really late or just need help even writing like resumes and asking for questions like that. I should mention that my wife is an HR specialist, so even if it's school papers to writing resumes, it's a good time to come and ask us questions and talk about things like that. So if you're interested at all, we would love to have you. Like I said, it's the 26th. It's going to be at 6 p.m. and that's obviously our time since you're in Utah. If you had to guess how old... Oh, God. Well, you've talked about living in... Okay, let me use my detective brain. You found a Super NES in your grandparents' basement, which must mean that you were young enough or somebody was young enough in your family to have a Super NES and then at grandparents' age, which means you probably would have to be born sometime in the 80s, maybe the 90s. If your grandparents are younger, you could have been born in the 90s. You said that you've been living in St. George for a while and you're getting acclimated to the heat, which means that you might have lived there, obviously you're getting used to it. I don't know if the change to move there was yours or not. It could have been your parents or it could have been something for work or say because you got married or retired. But I'm going to say you were born sometime in the 80s just based off of living in St. George, the way you talk, and how you talk about finding games. So I'm going to say you were born in the 80s, but that's probably the tail end of the 80s. But that's as far as I can go. I'm probably way off, but you can at least see my train of thought. So go ahead and tell me. I'm probably way off. You're probably like 60 or 14. But yeah, go ahead and tell me how close I was based off of what I was saying. Very close. Nailed it! Or ish. Yep, so my line of thought was at least going the right direction, wasn't it? That's funny. Well, I was pretty close. So yeah, I mean... Cool. Yeah, that's actually perfect age. If you want to join, that would be... I don't know what, you're doing as far as career school or anything like that. But yeah, if you want to join and specifically ask questions about that, I would love to have you. But I mean, even if you just want to join and hang out, I'll have a bunch of other people on the stream as well. That would be cool too. I don't think Naga and White Guardian and a few of the other people from the stream yesterday will be able to be there because most of them are in Europe, and the time difference, it's like midnight there, so I don't think they're going to be able to join us, but other people will, so... Yeah, hopefully we can have you. But like I was saying, I will be doing Kerbal streams before then. The funeral, I found out, is on Friday, so I should have a chance maybe on Thursday. No promises. But maybe on Thursday we're going to be able to continue our Kerbal stream. And... take our Waluigi skin, oh yeah, we need to send Waluigi on the next mission if we can get that skin. So keep your fingers crossed that we can get the Waluigi Kerbal skin because that would be amazing. Let's see how the water's... I need to check my water really quick. Abandoned building. Yes, I get it. Abandoned building. Okay, before I have to go, I'm going to save here in just a minute. What is the... Is that better, Bulldozer? Okay. What was the very first game you ever remember playing? Just out of curiosity. I'd love to see, you know, what your very first game experience is. Very first thing you remember playing. Not that you bought, not that you were given, but the first time you ever actually played anything. Tetris on the NES. Mine, I think it was with my... Okay, I think it was my parents and I, when I was like 4, I want to say, went to one of their friends' house, and they had an NES with Mario, and I was able to play it. It was like my parents' first experience with the games, and I was able to try it too. I want to say it was the Mario Duck Hunt combination on the NES when I was like 4, I want to say. It might have been 3. But, you know, 3, 4, 5, that region right there. But yeah, Tetris on the NES, that was actually really cool. I liked... I actually rented that from one of the video stores many, many years ago. Why does that look like a big cupcake? No more room. Oh, okay. How do I... My earliest gaming memories are my mom playing Tetris and Dr. Mario and my dad playing Galaga. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, my grandma actually used to play Tetris on my Game Boy. I thought that was... She loved Tetris. It was so weird. She absolutely loved playing Tetris on my Game Boy. Yeah, I don't know how to... I'm going to have to look up how to get rid of full landfills. That's slightly problematic. But hey, look how much the city's filled out this time. It's actually looking pretty good. I'm quite pleased with it. I'm going to go ahead and save there. Wait, no, let's just take a pat on the back. Most Attractive City Award. Yep. To this day, my mom can still beat me in Dr. Mario, even if she... Yeah, muscle memory. It's one of those things you play so much that you never forget it. That's funny. I bet if I got... You know, my grandma's eyes have gone really bad, but I bet if I got her like a massive screen version, she'd actually be able to pick it up pretty quickly. That's funny. That's like the same experience I had. I like that. Well, hey, I need to go work on dinner and wrap up the stream and close it out for today. But I appreciate you joining me. That's actually been a lot of fun talking about games and guessing your age. So I really appreciate you joining me. And like I said, if you start doing any Zelda streams, I have notifications on for when you go live. You know, let me know if you're going to be doing that because I definitely want to watch that. You know, I hope you can get your setup pretty soon. Luckily, most of the parts aren't too terribly expensive. But yeah, go ahead and let me know if and when you can do that. And I think we are going to call it good for cities today. And I actually did something. Enjoy. Let's see. Looking forward to next stream. Yeah, keep me posted. Like I said, later this week sometime, I will be doing Kerbal. I don't know exactly when. Like I said, the funeral is Friday, so definitely not Friday. It might be either tomorrow or Thursday. Honestly, it depends on the weather, as weird as that sounds. It depends on which day I can get out. Whichever day is the best weather, I'm going to go for a longer ride then, and that's the day I will not do it, if that makes sense. And so we're going to be doing Kerbal. Yeah, I'll try and catch your streams probably later this week. So yeah, I think that about covers it. So again, yeah, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you, you know, later on this week or next week. And I will look for notifications from you. So once again, thank you and have a good day, my friend. I appreciate it.